When you go to the beach, do you ever look out to the greenish blue water and think twice about what might be lurking underneath?
Yeah, I do.
Well, good, because it's pretty clear that since the 1900s, the total number of unprovoked shark attacks has risen from around 50 a year to as high as 111 in the past decade.
There are sharks in these waters right now that could just jump out and attack us.
I may never let you back in the water again.
That would be absurd and very silly. There's not that many reasons to be afraid of sharks, and I can prove it to you.
Really?
Really?
Let's go.
We are in South Carolina, where every year a human is attacked by a shark. And recently it seems like the amount of shark attacks are increasing here in South Carolina. And now we're gonna see if they really are increasing. This is the video where we will be uncovering the science of shark attacks.
Every year, the Global Shark Attack File tracks the number of unfortunate individuals who found themselves in the jaws of a shark during activities like diving or surfing, boogie boarding, general frolicking. Boogie boarding?
You take a board, take a 2x4,
and then you
put it in the ocean, and then you boogie on it.
Boogie board.
And if you look at the data, shark attacks are increasing.
Bad news, North American viewers. More than half of these attacks take place in the United States. These numbers are not encouraging a relaxing day at the beach.
Do you like going to the beach?
I like going to the beach. Do you like going to the beach?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you? Do you like going to the beach?
Tell us in the comments below. But here's the thing about data. Just looking at the number of shark attacks over time doesn't tell us whether shark attacks are meaningfully increasing.
It's not just about the total number of attacks, but also about the rate of attacks in proportion to the total number of humans available to be attacked.
So mathics.
Math.
Mathics is a word I just made up.
Mathics is a good word. I like it.
But here's where things get interesting. Back in 1950, the global population was 2.5 billion people. There are a lot more people alive today. There are 8 billion across the planet and counting. That's a lot more humans for sharks to attack.
So if we do the math to look at the rate of unprovoked shark attacks per million people, we see that the rate of unprovoked shark attacks actually has remained relatively consistent over time, hovering around 0.012 in 1950 to about 0.010 in 2020.
I did it with the calculator.
Beep boop bop beep
The
beep.
sharkulator.
Sharkulator. Okay, that's too much.
That pun turned into a really corny thing.
That went too far.
So I'm not more at risk from an unprovoked shark attack today than, say, I would have been 100 years ago?
Well, not exactly. You see, it's not just about the total numbers of sharks or the total numbers of humans. It's about how both these creatures behave.
Think about it. If humans just stayed in landlocked areas and sharks just stayed in the middle of the ocean, there would be no unprovoked shark attacks. Zero. And it would also be kind of weird.
But sharks and humans have one thing in common.
We both love the beach in the summer.
Oh yeah, we do. People are increasingly flocking to the beach to recreate, especially as it gets hotter and hotter in the summer months. And as it turns out, so are the sharks. As ocean temperatures increase, sharks and humans are increasingly being brought together at the same place at the same time. So just because we are more often together in the same place at the same time, it actually increases the risk that a shark might accidentally mistake you for its favorite prey.
So sharks don't hate humans and don't want to hunt us down and eat us, okay?
No, honestly, we probably don't taste that good to them. Their preferred foods are fish and marine mammals. Even the great white shark is likely mostly neutral or afraid of us. In fact, a recent study using drones to view humans bathing off the Southern California coast found that humans and great whites are swimming side by side nearly every day. No attacks, no fatalities. Though honestly, I don't know if that bit of science makes me feel better.
So what did we learn from this? Can we go to the beach? Are we at greater risk than before? Can I go boogie boarding?
Okay, we know there have been some terrible, dramatic, awful shark attacks and even fatalities. Sure, but these are incredibly rare. It's more likely you're gonna die at the beach from the giant sand hole that you're digging than a shark attack. True story, especially for kiddos.
Your chance of being bitten by a shark are about 1 in more than 3 million. Sharks simply aren't interested in eating humans.
But of course the risk is not zero, so it still could happen, which is why it's important to be informed and prepared when you're entering the ocean.
Think about it this way. If you're going on a hike in a national park, You wouldn't walk right into a bear's den eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know not to do that, right? You do know not to do that, right? Good, good.
But this is making me very hungry.
Now that sharks may increasingly be sharing waters with us, there are some simple precautions you can take to stay safe.
For example, think about what you're wearing and where you're swimming. Maybe try not to look like a tasty fish in the water. Avoid shiny objects like jewelry or watches or other things that might reflect and resemble fish scales.
Are you doing something that makes you look like a marine mammal from underwater? Basic rules of not being bitten, or try not to look like something sharks would really want to eat.
And think about where you're swimming. Are you smack dab in the middle of a school of fish or an area with low visibility where sharks may mistake you for the thing they want to eat? Or maybe you're going to get caught up in some kind of feeding frenzy? Maybe that's not the best spot for a dip right now. Municipalities are using tools like shark monitoring drones that can help beach crowds stay aware of nearby sharks, and issuing warnings or even closing beaches when sharks are present in the water. So certainly check these out before you go off for a day of fun in the sun.
And look, if you're one of the 60-odd individuals who may be bitten by a shark this year, if you're attacked, just punch it in the nose. There's actually some evidence that will temporarily disable the shark attacker so you can get out of there. So, can we go to the beach for a swim now?
Okay, but no digging sand holes.
Only if you give me a PB&J. Are you meant to have a relaxing day at a beach? There are going to be seagulls stealing your French fries.
Somebody should think about the seagulls.